Oh.
What a lad, what a lad, what a lad, what an absolute lad. What a lad, what a lad, what a lad, what an absolute lad.
Righto, guys. Today is a sad day as it's the last recording ever in the Waterlad studio here out of Mapua, but it's also a very special day as I'm joined by the perfect guest to finish an era. He's the ultimate lad who provided his special talents for teams such as the Hawke's Bay Magpies, the Hurricanes, and he is currently with the Taranaki Bulls and the Blues. He is arguably the best rig for a front rower in the game, and let me promise you that he is one hell of a lad. He's literally one of the greats. It is Ricky Riccitelli. Welcome, lad.
Jabba, cheers for having me on, mate. What an absolute honour.
Mate, it's great to get you out into the studio. I couldn't believe my luck when I saw that you were staying down the road my last week in Nelson, mate, and you just jumped at it and jumped in, so I really appreciate it.
No, cheers, mate. As soon as I saw you message me about you're in Nelson, you didn't let me know. I knew what I was in for, so happy to be here, mate. It's awesome to see how much this platform's grown and what you've done with it, so I'm stoked for you, Jeb.
Mate, it's only going to get bigger after this one. It's going to really skyrocket. But what are you up to in Nelson? What brings you to Nelson?
My partner's got some training here, tennis training. Her coach lives here, so shout out to JD Tennis. And I'm just cruising, man. So happy days, just a bit of golf. Trying to get into do a bit of training myself here. But no, just a support crew at the moment.
Nice. How long's this relationship been going? Hey?
This is about me or no? Nah, it's been about a year now, so happy days.
Nice.
Early doors, so plain sailing at the moment.
Nice. And she's tennis gun. Like how good is she?
She's good, mate. She's a good player. Don't want to blow her trumpet too much, but no, she's just had a few setbacks, so she's looking to get back on the tour, ITF tour.
Oh yeah.
She's just came back from knee surgery, so yeah, she's back just getting through the back end of her rehab, and she's back competing in a few weeks now, so
nice.
Off to Aussie I think she goes, so.
And you travel with her, mate. I always thought that would be like a bit of a dream, eh? Like marry a hissing tennis player and just travel the world with her.
Mate, put the feet up, eh? Like
cheer them on.
Be at the other end of an athlete, eh? Like it's a bit different, man. Like, oh man, she trains harder than quite a few of the boys, I'd say, including myself some of the time, so a bit more stricter anyway. So yeah, nah, just happy days, man.
Yeah.
Just living life.
Do you guys do a bit of training together?
Yeah, try to do a bit, eh?
Yeah.
It's quite good because, you know, those days where you your motivation's a bit low, and she's always been real motivated, so she's a hard worker, so it's pretty happy days.
You've obviously got her on the bench press and squat, but is there anything she's got you at?
Oh, mate, I honestly reckon she'd probably have me at the squat, eh? She's
True.
That's strong, man. Like, it defies physics, mate. It's going all right, mate.
That sounds good stuff. But you're obviously off the back of a probably a pretty disappointing Taranaki campaign this year. How was it for you?
Yeah, like, Taranaki's home for me now, and so it's been home for since I moved from South Africa when I was 4. So it's real disappointing to not do well for that province as a team, because it wears its heart on its sleeve. So that was really guttering about that side of things. But it was a weird one. We had a lot of setbacks, injuries.
So many injuries.
Mate,
you guys.
it's that hard at Mitre 10 when you've got your guns unavailable. So like.
And you obviously lost a few with the All Blacks as well, like a couple of key guys for you that really steered the ship for you last year, like Feta and...
Oh, yeah. Pair of future, mate.
Pair of future, mate. Yeah. Huge loss for the Naki.
Pair of present. So it was very tough, mate. But just in terms of results, like the drive and wanting to be better was always never a question of the team. But in terms of getting over the line, it's just really disappointing. We put ourselves in position to win a lot of games, but came out second best. And story of our season really that bounced the ball, didn't really go away, and had a little opportunity there to win a couple and maybe sneak into a final spot, quarter final, but just didn't go away.
And how was the culture, mate? One thing about the Naki, I always loved my time up there as well. Always good culture, good times off the field.
Yeah, it's it's like, Jeb, like it's a different beast, eh? Like it's just everyone's a what a lad, so yeah, I love it, mate. You're a lad.
Get the whole team on.
Yeah, I remember you, Jabba. You're one of the great Taranaki skippers, eh? Oh wow, you skipper with?
It was actually Kane Barrett at the time, and then he had to retire because of his head knock, so
That's
sort
right.
of took over. But
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
You
mate,
guys-
good memories.
You guys won it that year, eh? One of the greats. Packed Euro Stadium.
Oh,
I was in the stands.
were you?
cheering on, yeah.
Right.
Was I what, mate? Oh, man.
Right, and you also you'd move up to the Blues, obviously. Blues had a pretty successful year, obviously pretty disappointing way to finish the year, but how did you find it up there?
Oh, loved it. Loved it up at the Blues, eh? Just in terms of how welcoming everyone was. It was a big move for me. It was real tough to leave the Canes after so many years. It's all I knew. But I guess I was sort of just at a stage in my career where I just wanted to try something new, put myself out of my comfort zone, which was one of the major ones where I wanted to leave. And just for opportunity, man, got some awesome hookers at Hurricanes and the Blues, obviously, but we had Colsey and Safo, just gun players, man, and so it was just a good opportunity to try something new, see what I could do in a completely new environment. I've been coached by Leon at NZ20s, so had like a relationship with him there, so I sort of knew how he coached and loved the style that he coached at, and so I went from there. Had a few good mates up there. Stevie, Jacob was there, and like Aki and all them, and so of course Bodie was there. So he was like, he put some fairly good stern words for me to get up there. Eh? Like he promised the world, a few golf trips, but it was happy days, mate. It was cruisy, tough decision, but one that held close to my heart. But it was the right one for me. It was just the right time, and yeah, loved it up there.
Yeah, I always wondered how much of an influence Bodie had on that move, but pretty significant.
Yeah, well, like never to the point where he's like real pressure.
Yeah.
It was more just,
selling the dream.
Selling the dream, just subtle things every now and then, once a week, just like, hey mate, how you getting on? Like, yeah, so no, it was really, really good time, mate. Like I really enjoyed it. The boys up there worked hard and had a good goal, good mindset, and the talent in that room up there is just crazy. Eh?
Yeah.
Like, there's some genuine freaks. And it was just, we built that culture where we had the talent and the boys would work hard for each other, like you could see with, the Reeks tackle in the corner to save that try, and just sort of summed up how much you'd want to do for each other up there in the Blues this year. So pretty proud of how we went as a team. So I'm pretty confident we can carry that on and just keep building from the year that's been, and obviously get over that final hurdle.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. Oh, mate. Can't believe you end up at Crusaders, eh?
But you obviously, like you mentioned, saw an opportunity at the Blues to probably get more game time than you're getting at the Canes. Probably didn't eventuate as you're expecting. How hard was that to deal with? Was it disappointing, or did you sort of just suck it up and do your best?
Yeah, it was just one of those things in rugby, eh?
Yeah.
Like if you're in form, you're in form. Like I'm still working hard as I can to be better and be the best player I can be for the team. So it's just one of those things with footy. Like it's obviously really disappointing. Like all you want to do is go out there and play and for your mates next to you, and that's why we play the game. Like you play to play minutes, and you play to compete against your opposition, and you play to do well and showcase what you've got. So yeah, that was disappointing, but it was a bigger picture thing at the time. It was more just, what I can do for the team to get us over the line each week and really get the team just firing. So if that's what it took for me to sacrifice a few minutes, then yeah, it sucked, but I was happy to do it. Like it was just is what it is.
Mate, you're a lad.
Yeah.
I love that. It's crazy. Like rugby's such a crazy game like that, eh? Guys just waiting for opportunities, and just how quickly it can all change when you get your opportunity or when you don't. Like
just a couple of games, Jeb.
That's
like
all it takes.
Like, it's just if someone's humming, mate. Like you've just got to ride it, because it's everyone goes through playing well, or they might have a few off games, and that's when you check your opportunity, and it just goes from there. But no, I'm just working hard on this off season, mate, and just really ready to rip in and
Big year ahead.
big year ahead. Mate. Big year, huge year.
Huge year. Cannot wait to see it. But I know you mentioned before that you were born in South Africa, so I'm pretty keen to hear the journey from the start, as always. Give us the rundown growing up in South Africa. I know it wasn't too long, but you were born there.
I was born in South Africa in Durban, the Bluff. So that's where I grew up till I was 4. Dad met my mother over there. Dad was actually like a pretty gun-like. He's from America, so mum's South African, Portuguese, and dad's American, Italian. So
True. What a mix.
hell of a mix, mate.
Yeah.
Don't know how I came out like this. So, bit of a, so it was sort of like met over there. He was over there playing baseball and basketball. So
True.
Yeah.
Sporting wizard.
Oh mate, he's at all sorts. I think he was like pretty certain he was going to crack like baseball over there.
Oh, yeah.
Never really talks about it to me, but then he just wanted to travel. He's a bit of a chiller, so he just wanted to travel. So he ended up in South Africa on baseball. Didn't even know they played baseball there, but ended up playing basketball for them,
True.
Like, yeah, for the national side of things. So, and then so he met mum over there, and then they had me obviously, and then I think it was just crazy times over there, and it's just getting a bit worse, I think, over in South Africa. And like I tried to go back to where I was living when we played the Sharks. I think it was a couple of years ago, and I wasn't allowed to go back there. It was just sort of a bit corrupt and a bit overtaken and stuff. So it was pretty sad. But
Who stopped you from going there? Like, what do you mean?
it was just like it was
Too dangerous.
quite dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Just the
Security guard.
like just the regions where sort of area that I was living in at the time, and I was a young tacker. So so fortunately, Mum was pretty keen to get out of there because she financially could at the time. So that was the sole reason I think we moved, was just for security reasons. And I think it was we were getting a bit under it over there. I think it was the crime rate was pretty high and was pretty unsafe. So we moved over to, I think Dad flew over. Mum was just looking for job opportunities, found one in Taranaki, of all places, eh? And then Dad flew over, I think, a month early and checked out the spot, and he loves surfing, so he's like, mate,
This is
get
it.
over here. So we ended up moving to Okura and Oakara and Taranaki. So
That is a spot too.
it is a spot, mate. It's so underrated, eh? So it's pretty not overrated, but it's pretty rated now. It's a different spot now.
Is it?
Yeah, there's so many people from all over living there now.
Oh, true.
Yeah, properties popping up everywhere.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Mate, it is a hell of a spot to live. So what was it like going from the dangerous South Africa to the country of Taranaki?
Yeah, it was completely different. Like, not that I can remember much, but from what I've heard, it was like it's just a dream result, eh? Like, loved it there. So did all my schooling there. Went to the great Francis Douglas Memorial College, mate. What a spot that was. Anyway, enough about that. And then I ended up going to university in Dunedin. One of my good mates, Tay Walden, went down there the year before me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, mate, I just want to go. It's either Wellington or Dunedin. I was like, what are you studying anyway? Because I didn't know what I want to study at the time. He's like, just get down here, put your name down for something you just have a slight interest in, and just come down, mate. I promise you'll love it. So I was 50-50 between Wellington and Dunedin at the time. Ended up in Dunedin. Did geology down there.
Did ya?
Yeah, it was in my last year. I was going strong, and then footy sort of took over. And geology is a weird one. But it's like a lot of field trips and that. So I couldn't just say, hey, mate, I'm just going to have a couple of weeks off at the Canes and just go for a 2-week field trip. But so still got a couple papers to go, but hopefully finish that in time being. But so I was just down there and then just training, and met a couple of mates down there, and they were just this guy Alex Fitzgerald, who I started training with quite. He sort of was real influential in terms of like getting me to train hard and that. Just one of my mates, bro, and he was just real dedicated and stuff. So that sort of turned things around with my training and that. I just remember going down to uni, putting on like 15 kilos. Went from a bit of bit of a rake at high school, and then put on 15, 20 gigs genuine.
True. How did you do it? What was the secret? Because that
just-
question came in a lot. How did you get your rig? How did you get so?
Oh mate, I just gymmed hard and like dedicated like a summer and a year to just gymming really hard. And
How much is it? Like, what's a hard gym? Like,
Oh.
how many times?
probably like I was gymming most days,
Yeah.
I was gymming definitely most days, and I was just trying to eat as much as I could. It definitely was, some of the weight wasn't the best weight, being first year down at university. I remember I was in Unicole halls, and the feeds there were just so much carbs, so it just, that was definitely helped putting on weight.
Yeah.
Just had all that food, just easy access. So yeah, I put on a lot of weight just through hard work, mate. Like just trying to get big. So I sort of left all the cricketing doors like behind, because I went down in the cricket bag and stuff like that, and didn't even open it. So
Yeah, so you were a gun cricketer too, like through school, You were like,
I enjoyed it.
you're a wizard.
No, definitely wasn't a wizard, mate. No, I definitely enjoyed it. I loved it. So I didn't know what to do when I left school, whether I wanted to play cricket or rugby. Definitely always had a passion to play rugby, but I didn't get picked through school. Got picked for the Naki sides, but didn't get picked for like the Hurricane schools and all that sort of jazz. Overlooked, mate.
Mate.
Overlooked.
But you're making the cricket teams, were you?
Yeah, I was making the cricket sides.
Yeah.
Made quite a few cricket sides, which I was pretty proud of. So it was not like big sides or
Yeah.
anything, but all the age group stuff, and loved it. So
Better? Must have been. Opening better, were you?
no, it was about 3 or 4, mate.
Oh,
just
mate,
holding down the
just
steer.
prime time.
Just hope the openers didn't get out early, but usually didn't happen that way.
What was your go-to shot?
Oh, what was it? I was pretty like, I was always across my body, so I was always
You're Ross Taylor,
I was
like.
quite good down the leg side.
Were you? Oh, yeah.
But pretty hit and miss, to be fair. Got pretty frustrated out there,
So then why did you end up choosing rugby, like down
It
at
just
uni?
sort of it was a natural process, Like I sort of just, I don't know, it just happened. I just got down there. I really wanted to be in the academy down there, just so I can get more training in that. So I went down there, not in the academy, sort of just, we'll come watch you play a couple games, and then it was just flew on from there. So I remember I went down there, and after I put on all this weight and stuff, and sort of felt like I was playing some decent footy, and then because I was bigger, I felt like I could do more on the field. So it was pretty random how it all happened. And then I just remember I was at my Southern Magpies Rugby Club in Dunedin.
Hey.
Great spot. I was actually playing Magpies under 20s. Like, it was pretty unheard of for anyone down in Dunedin to go from out of school straight into Prem Rugby. Like,
Yeah.
it was a pretty natural thing just to go through
Age grade.
age grade under 20s grade, which was a really strong comp. It was really strong. So I was down there, and I remember I think I got a call from Tony Brown or something, and then he's just like, "Hey mate, we're going to come watch you play on the weekend, and this is what we look for in our front rowers, like just ball carrying front rowers. So we're just going to come give you see how you go on that." I was
Perfect.
Yeah, I was like, mate, say no more. So whether he came, and I was just parked up at that ball carry spot. Like, I reckon I had the most carries I've ever had. Like, I reckon I had like 15, 20 carries in the first half. It was real selfish, but it was like a pre-season game, I think, even. So I was like, "Oh mate, like
Go for it, yeah.
I remember that pre-season game actually. It was Jackson Himipo, I think, was playing as well.
Oh, yeah.
And he must have been coming back from something, from injury or something, but he was down. He must have signed the Targo, and he's got the ball. I was like, "Oh, sup, Jax?" Played him against he was playing for Palmy Boys with their stack line up.
Yeah.
And then he's just got the ball that we've kicked off. He just plucked the seed, bro, from like just jumped over someone, plucked the seed, ran the distance, scored in like the first 5 seconds. I was like, wow. But yeah, that's honestly how it all started.
Sure.
Like, yeah, and then got called into the academy from there, and
Brownie loved your carries.
oh, I mean, he must have seen something, something that most probably didn't. And then I was in their setup and went from there, as I said, and then from there it was more the New Zealand under 20 stuff, and
Yeah.
got called into the Highlanders. I think it might have been that next year.
Oh, yeah.
And then just as like a injury cover, I think.
Oh, true. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so I was in there for a bit, only for like a couple of weeks, and at that time it was like half the Highlanders was Hawke's Bay.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's how I ended up there. So it's like Ash Dixon, Richard Buckman,
Yeah.
Gareth Edmonds, and all those sort of. It was Doogie Edmonds and all
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they're all down there. So they sort of they just said, "Hey mate, you can come up to Hawke's Bay," and then I think it was Ash Dixon that actually rang Craig Philpott and he coached Hawke's Bay at the time, and they gave me a contract. So I was like, it's like it's tough to tell Otago I was going because I sort of had that connection, but sort of just had to put myself first. And
Did you have a contract from Otago?
it was sort of they had Liam Coltman and Sam Anderson Heather at the time, so
Yeah.
I just sort of just ended up. I was through it tough to leave because I was still doing my degree and stuff, but I was like, oh mate, it's an opportunity that I can't really turn down.
Yeah.
This is what I've sort of been dreaming and working really hard towards. So ended up there and ended up in Hawke's Bay and New Zealand. That was New Zealand 20 years, so that's how it all happened. So from there went to New Zealand in 20s as a prop.
Oh, you're a prop.
Oh mate, I played prop. I remember it was crazy times.
You weren't playing prop in this game that Brownie was watching, yeah? You were still hooker then, or were you mainly a prop?
I think I was hooker then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been hooker then. And anyway, I went over there funny enough, I went as a hooker to New Zealand camp. They could cover prop.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just got to the couple of camps and they were like, oh, mate, we want you to play both. We went to the Oceania tournament in Aussie against Australia and Samoa, and then I had a game at Lucid, and they're like, oh, mate, we want you to play more Lucid for us.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, sweet. And then went to the World Cup as a Lucid that could cover hooker because we had Liam Port at the time. And Lenny, but I think Lenny got injured.
Oh, yeah.
So went over as a prop that could cover hooker. So yeah, it was more just so there was. I think it was Razor at the time. So I get on the field a bit and stuff. So it was just suited the team at the time. So happy days.
So whose decision was it to get back to hooker? Like, was that your decision? Did you prefer hooker or?
Yeah, I was always a hooker.
Yeah,
I was always a hooker, but it's more just. I had a year at the Magpies as a hooker, as a prop as well. Loose head. I wasn't the best ever against scrummaging wise, Like, it was a bit of a learning curve.
Fair enough. Like when you played hooker for so long and then chucked in at that level to play loose head prop, not easy.
No, it was fine because I had Jeff Cridge behind me, big lad. I was just, mate, just put 21s in every week and push as hard as you can. So definitely had my few bit of probably embarrassing moments in scrums, but I had good ones too. So take the good with the bad there. But I enjoyed it. I obviously had Ash Dixon at hooker there at Hawke's Bay at the time, so it made sense for us to, him to be hooker and prop. So
yeah, how many dark arts are in there? Obviously, the front rowers all know that, but like when you're going from a hooker to a prop, like what sort of tricks do the guys do to, sort of a rookie loose head prop?
It's just a different beast in the front.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's tough looking in. Like a lot of people probably think scrums are a bit boring, a bit of a waste of time. But it's until you're actually in the mixer and in the front up front or even at locks, man. Like they push so hard now the back 5A. So
yeah,
it's where you realise how tough it can be and how tough it is. So it's a tough place to be, but wouldn't have it any other way, Jabba.
And then to the Canes. Talk me through how this came about.
It was a funny one. So I was just at the NZ20s World Cup over in Italy, and then as soon as I got back, I think I might have been on the way home. My agent just emailed me and he said, "Hey mate, you free for a catch up?" There's I think Chris Boyd at the time was the Hurricanes keen to give you a contract, and then so. I was like, oh, happy days. Wow, did not expect that at all. It's sort of just like a bit of shock. And then, how did it happen? And then, I was chilling in Hawke's Bay. They're like, okay, we just want to come back and play Mitre 10 Cup. Just want to see you play a couple games. And then I remember my first game of Mitre 10 Cup ever. It's against Northland. Just got this ball like not too far from the try line. Just thought I'd fancy myself a little meat pie on debut, and then I was like real close, and then someone's just landed on my ankle, and I've just heard all sorts go on.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so I was just real gutted because then they were like, "Oh, we want to see you play," and gave it those ones, So I was just put on the back foot. I was pretty gutted. My roomie at the time, Jeff Cridge, just had his ACL, so it was pretty sad flat,
Yeah.
And anyway, so didn't end up getting a full contract that year, but I was still a pup, mate, so it was all right. And then got called in as injury replacement in 2015, and then sort of had a real good training sort of pre-season with them, sort of just trained as hard as I could, mate, and just try to leave no stone unturned and hope for the best. And it sort of just all eventuated and ended up playing quite a few games the next year. So that was a good year.
Did you what, mate?
What
So you didn't debut till 2016. 2015 was your sort of intro year and get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And then 2016, you take over. Obviously, being behind Colsey, you're always going to get a few opportunities with his niggly little calves that seem to go off every now and again. But, mate, you got heaps of game time that year, Even started in the final, didn't you?
Yeah, mate, it was just one of those things, obviously, it's never a nice thing for a player to get injured and stuff. But, I just remember Colsey had a couple of issues that year and got a few opportunities, and I was just young, bro, and I just wanted to go and express myself for my teammates, and then just show that I have what it takes to be here and go places in the game. So, and sort of when I had that mindset, I just literally went out there and tried to play just do everything I could to do well. So. But mate, what a year!
What a year
we had! I remember our first game. What was it? That was my debut against Brumbies.
Brumbies, jeez, was that your debut? And we got pumped by 50. I wasn't playing that, but I remember watching it, thinking, "Geez, this is not a good start."
Oh, mate, we were so dusty in that game, man. Like we were beaten in all facets. Like our scrum was in reverse.
Yeah,
we've just in all sorts. But now we sort of turned it around. We just got some momentum. And then, but the belief was not there.
Yeah.
And then got that momentum and we just rode it, And
mate,
it was just one of the greats. So
you're on fire. And you mentioned expressing yourself, and you certainly did that. And one of that photo, the greatest photo I reckon taken on the rugby field, you're goosey or sidestep or not sure what it was, but talk me through that one, because that is one of the great steps there.
Oh wow, it's probably how not to step out, like using any ground just to leave me in the air. It just sort of happened, Like that was in the final, wasn't it?
What was it?
It was in the Lions final. It was against the Lions.
Wow.
Remember I got this ball on the side, don't know what I was up to at that age. I was just like, chuck me the ball, mate. I'll just try and go hard. And for some reason, I thought it was the right thing to do. Let's try to do a goosey step down the sideline. I remember I just stepped in. I've just been absolutely folded by two dudes.
I've never actually seen the clip of it or the video of it, but I've just seen that photo, and mate, what a shot!
Michael Fats. He was one of my real close mates there. Cause sort of caught at the same time to the Canes. Never lived in Wellington, and we sort of just lived with him, and he sort of just explored the city together, and sort of just got real close. And mate, what a player he was that year too. And then so he was just like, mate, I've never seen anyone step to get folded. So yeah, that's how that went down.
But were you nervous going into that final and things like that, or did you always feel pretty confident? Obviously, Colsey was captain. Everyone. I think he had a sore rib. He was trying his best to play.
He played the final.
Did he play the final?
He didn't play the semi.
Oh, the semi when you started. Yeah, true. Yeah.
But he was just playing because he had a pure passion.
Yeah,
Colsey's
Yeah.
So he probably had no right to play, but he's just played.
True.
But he was obviously only going to last half a game, and then I guess I was nervous. Jabber, like I was nervous. I remember the week before how me like in the semi final, like man, like, I was still a pup then, so I was like, all right, just staring at the ceiling. I remember just like sweet starting Super Rugby semi final tomorrow. Like, wow, this probably escalated pretty quickly. Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
I think I would have been 20.
True, yeah, that was young, eh?
Yeah, like it's young, but like, yeah, I must have been turning 21 because I remember James Broadhurst made me scull this for not a yardie. He's filled this biggest basket he could find in the kitchen at the Canes base there. Yeah, filled it with like just cracked open about 7 Sprites. He just poured them in. He's like, right, mate, it's a yardie. Had to scull this massive thing. Soft Sprite, bro, like full fizz in front of everyone. I was like, I didn't want to be like a soft dude, bro. Like trying to like, and then so I'm like, it's pretty shaky. Like, got like some of the boys I looked up to when I was like younger, and all in the room, and I'm just like, just going to Sprite. Oh, I just remember like walking out of that room, like getting it through, and I was like, one of the toughest things I ever have to do, probably. And then, anyway, I've got through that. And then, what happened? And then, so that's how I know my age, mate. And then, so it all happened. And one of my biggest memories from that final was just the atmosphere, right? Like, it was something else, wasn't it? Yeah. Like, it was cold in Wellington. Yeah. And then the famous Jabber drop kick to me.
Oh, I thought that one had been buried. I've been waiting for this moment to be brought up at some point in my life, but I've really tried to park that one.
Oh, I think it was special, mate. Like, it was probably one of the biggest brain explosions I've seen. And the worst thing was you got the drop kick, bro. Who's kicked it? It was an elderly.
It's gone straight to the winger, like on the 22.
You couldn't have hit that any worse.
Hoofed it down into the corner, and now we're under the pump.
It was one of the best clearance kicks I've seen too. Like it's sort of those ones where like just dribbles to touch like 5 out.
Oh mate, it was hard, man. And I remember checking my phone after winning like the Super Rugby final and getting all these questions like drop goal match fixing or like all these match fixing accusations. I was like, oh mate, that was a moment, you know, one of those ones, you know, you don't regret too many moments in your career, but that's definitely one that I do regret.
Oh, I was that happy with that age.
Colsey was just constantly into me that next few days, those Sundays, that Sunday and Monday, but mate, it was good times, eh?
It was good times, eh? And it was just awesome to see how much it meant to the whole city, eh? Like, that parade is pretty special, and just all the past Hurricanes lads that have obviously been close to winning it and that couldn't get it done. So just like from the even like Broady and stuff, it was just cool to see how much it. Because as a young fellow, like you're obviously so stoked and so happy, but all those guys that have been there slaving away, trying so hard to win a championship and just fell short. So it was good to do it for them too, eh? Yeah,
and took me through the next couple of years. I'd left after this, so I met a few. I think you lost the semi, eh? One was against the Lions. That was a tough one. But what was the difference in those next couple of years? Or
I guess we still had the same like pretty much core group. Like Victor Vito left. That was probably a bit of a loss. Yourself left, mate.
Huge loss.
Huge loss.
No droppies.
Huge loss. For the off-field, for the info committee, mate. It took a real backward step, eh, when you would have one reach. But no, that year was, well, we had a good year. We had a real good year. Like I remember we were in the airport in Sydney, I think, and we didn't know whether we'd have a home semi. I remember we were watching a game in South Africa, I think it was if Sharks beat the Lions.
Oh, yeah.
Then we'd be at home in Wellington.
Oh, true.
And then it was like everything was going their way. Like Sharks were going to win this game. And then like I couldn't believe I was watching. And then the couple blows of the ref ref made some real tough calls in the mid, and so Lions ended up winning. So we ended up flying all the way over to South Africa.
True.
And we're like, the boys are on fire.
It was like 20-something nil, or
Yeah, it was.
I remember being like, "Oh, here we go. The boys are home here."
Yeah, the boys are home. Like, no, we can never say that, but no, the boys are on fire.
Yeah.
And then don't know what Lions did at half time, but completely different team. I think we blew like, how many point lead was that, bro?
It was decent, eh?
Yeah.
Was it? How much of effect did the altitude have, you reckon? Because they always come home pretty hard. But
Yeah, it must have had an effect though. Like, I remember just being out there. You train so much for those being at altitude, and I remember we're in those altitude chambers there at one stage, and it was just for altitude train, just for training to play in South Africa. And
what are those? Like, I never jumped in one of those.
oh, it's just like they have them in at one of the at some spot in Wellington. It's just sort of like you go in there, they put like 6 watt bikes in there, and then you just weigh yourself before you go in, do the one of Davey Gray's specials or Dave Wilder's specials. You're about halfway through, you just like can't even breathe.
True, just no oxygen in the room. Is that pretty much what it's?
Yeah, pretty much, mate. So we had those and stuff to train for it, but like you sort of just you get there and it's just a different beast, eh? But yeah, it was real tough. We were real disappointed to lose that game, because we felt like we put ourselves in a position to win it, obviously, and couldn't get it done. So yeah, hindsight.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Is it? And it is around this time that you switched to Taranaki.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I did 2 years at Hawke's Bay, and then ended up back home.
And was that purely just to get home, or was that quite a tough decision? You're obviously playing a fair bit of footy for Hawke's Bay, but I think you're coming off a pretty tough year, eh? Did you guys not win a game, or came last? Or it was a rough one.
It was a rough year, eh? It was a real rough year. We would have won maybe. Can't even remember if we won one game, won or 2 games.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But it was purely to come home and just wanted to be home, play for the Naki, and because Hawke's Bay was, they took me in really well. Loved that spot, eh? It was really hard to leave again, but I just wanted to go home and play for my province, my hometown, and that was the sole driver of it, and the timing was right. So, yeah.
And when you got home, what was it like? They welcomed you, you back like a king.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, it's like real refreshing to be in that environment. Angus Tarbow at the time was
lad.
He's a lad, wasn't he? It was so, man, he was so good for the environment and the Naki there. So no, it was happy days. We had a good year. I think we lost a semi, but it was just cool to be home playing for your province, somewhere where you grew up, spent most of your life, and just easier, get mum's cooking at home. So how good's that, eh? I really enjoyed it.
And did you get Player of the Year that year? Or was that the following year? You've got it a few times. I think they call it the Ricky Riccitelli Cup, don't they now?
Oh, I can't actually remember, Jab. I think I might.
3 or 4 times.
No,
I know Tarbow's got his hands on that Team Man award. He's won that a fair few times.
Yeah, so have you, mate. I've seen your name on there. Don't you go chasing.
Not at the Naki. I don't think I ever won it in the Naki, but
Kane's one.
Like, Kane's is definitely
the
called
Jimmy
the
Maher
Jimmy
and
Maher
BMA award. How does Bam always win those days? Just because he's so loud, eh?
He is loud, that is for sure. But he is a good lad.
He's such a good lad.
And then we've sort of spoken about your move to the Blues, Bodie's influence, chasing a bit more game time. What else we got? Oh, but in that time, I don't know when this was, but your All Black call up. So you get called into the All Blacks. Was this after your 2017 year at the Canes? We had another pretty good year.
Yeah, 17 year, eh? That was my first call up, eh? It was pretty special, eh? To be fair, like it was.
So what? Were you 21 then?
I would have been 22 then, I think.
True, still young as, eh?
17. I would have been 22.
Yeah.
22. I think, I'm assuming maybe 23. I don't know. And then anyway, so yeah, just I remember got the call at home, and it was just real. It's a special time, eh? It was just like, sort of didn't know if I was being prank called. Like, genuinely didn't know.
Info.
Yeah, so like at the time I was like, "Oh, how you going, mate?" And then I was like, "This will be one of the great infos." But nah, it was like I sort of got the wind that after like a few moments out on the call that it wasn't a fake call. And I was just like pretty relieved / just really grateful. And I remember telling Mum that I was actually at home at Mum's house in Taranaki at the time, and she's like, "Oh, who was that?" I was like, "Oh, it's the All Blacks manager. Yeah, I'm gonna go into camp next week," and pretty like I got a bit emotional. Like it was a pretty emotional time because it sort of just flashes back with you, like all the the work you've put in, the stuff that like a lot of people wouldn't see. It sort of just like hits you and you sort of realise how special it is. And I got emotional because like she was like pretty excited and like she teared up a bit, and I was like, man, it means a lot, eh? So like that's how that happened, and sort of went from there. Jabba got called in. It was pretty intimidating at the time, eh?
Yeah.
It was pretty. I remember as soon as I got called in, like TJ and Artie and all those boys they just messaged me straight away and just be like, "Mate, it's so stoked for you. Like, just come in here and be you," and that's it. And I was grateful for those words,
mate. And you went in, and what was it like? Like, is it intimidating as you expected?
Yeah, to an extent, eh? Like it is what you make of it, eh? So it's obviously intimidating because first of all, you're the young dude in the team, and you've got all these dudes that like at this stage, mate. I'm still like I'm still looking at the players, playing players next to me, and I'm just like, wow, man, I'm watched you at school, like just grateful, and but yeah, it was like I found it pretty intimidating, to be fair. Like, and just I wanted to do everything right. If I had my time again, like then back then I probably would have just been a bit more calm, relaxed, and just taken it in and just took the good with the bad, like, and then just backed myself in terms of like in that environment. So, but no, I loved it. Loved it. Loved my time with ABs in terms of never got to get on the field, but every time I was in there, it was everyone was welcoming, and it's like everything's there for you to perform well. So, no.
What was the feedback that you got around like staying in there or getting an opportunity to get out there on the field?
I remember the first time I was named. I was in the squad. It was like I was next cab off the rank, so like in terms of someone went down, so I was sort of injury cover, and then I just knew like I was close to playing, but like never like expected to play because like I was just there to train hard, and hopefully if I get a crack I can play for my country, which was always my goal and still is my goal, to play for my country, New Zealand, and then but after my first stint with them, sort of didn't hear too much after I left, and then the next year got called back in, and I remember in 2018 I remember I think it was Cody got sick, eh?
Oh yeah,
we're in Dunedin. Cody got sick, and if he didn't play, then I would have been playing.
Oh, true.
And I was just like, oh shit. And then at the same time, Colty got sick, so like they were both sick, and then I was like, wow. So I remember I was walking down the hall, like in the team room, and Sam Whitelock just comes up to me, he's like, mate, are you ready to go? Like if you have to play 80 for the All Blacks, are you ready to go? I was just like, yeah, mate. Like as ready as I can be, bro. Like I've obviously, like bleed for the jersey. Like I've trained that hard to be here. Like I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Like I'll do everything I can for this team. So, Never actually got to get a crack though, which is
Yeah.
a bit disappointing. But dream's still alive, Jabba.
That's it. While you're still playing, we've already spoke about it, how quickly it all can change. Like, you get a few opportunities, get in some form, and man, it can change quick. But obviously, they just named that All Black 15. You would have been pretty disappointed not to be involved in that. What do you make of that side, and what are your thoughts on the team, I guess?
Yeah, like it was interesting lineup, wasn't it? But no, it was like I'm stoked for those boys. Like it's a good opportunity for a lot of them to go well. Certainly, some of those boys can deserve their spots, and they've been playing well for a long time. So, no, it's a good crew. It's a good idea like that. AB's 15, like get those the next cabs, like some good game time opportunity at a different level. So, it's awesome tour and an idea. So,
A couple of Auckland hookers probably pretty disappointed as well as yourself.
Yeah, I know. There's some interesting stuff going on, isn't there? So, but like, yeah, it's just one of those things, Jab. Like you can't control as a player, all you can control as a player is how you play. So, like if you focus on the external, I just find whenever I focus on the external in the past, like that's when you can get a bit toxic in your own head, and like you don't play your best footy. So for me personally, it's just every time I play, bro, I just want to display what I can display and just play, play for my mates and play for my team, and then the rest will take care of itself. Just play well and not really worry about too much else that goes on. There's obviously a bit of disappointment when you don't make sides. But I just find if you dwell on that too much, then like you start taking away from your own game. Like you start not looking at things how you can get better, or I don't know. Like you can sort of look at all the bad things and then forget about the good. So just focusing on what you can focus on. I reckon is the biggest thing there.
Yeah, and you've obviously got the ability to play for a fair few other countries. Has that ever come into your mind? Like you mentioned that the dream's still alive to be an All Black, but when does it get to a point where you start thinking, shit, I could probably go to the World Cup with another country?
Yeah, it definitely has to an extent, like I've definitely thought about it. Like I can get a South African passport.
Imagine you and Malcolm Marx together. Jeepers, what a combo.
Oh man. So like it's definitely coming to my mind. But like it's sort of I don't have the biggest. Like I have a desire to play for a country, man. Like I want to be at a World Cup. That's why you play the sport. So if I can't do it here, then I don't see why I shouldn't explore other avenues. But like I've actually can get an American passport too.
Sure. Who else can you play for? Because you're a bit of a mix.
I can't play for
Italy.
My great granddad's Italian.
Oh yeah.
So not my granddad. So I'm not too sure how that would work. But America and South Africa are two that I can play for.
True.
I'm pretty sure. So.
And have you had any comms from either of those sides, or?
Nah, not really. To be fair, not really. To be fair, nah, I haven't had much comms.
So if Africa came knocking,
saying
want to take you to the World Cup, would you go?
I'm in the hot seat, aren't I? Well, I would definitely consider it, Jad.
Yeah.
I'd be silly not to, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Like,
you're gone.
But nah, like as I said, like I'm like in a way, like I just still feel like I can offer a lot to like this, like I still feel like I have unfinished stuff going on in New Zealand. So I'm pretty keen just to get on the footy and just play well and just exactly that.
Nice. And big year with the Blues ahead to sort of get you back in that sort of frame, I guess, because, I mean, when you're not starting for the Blues, it's going to be pretty hard to be making the All Blacks, but I guess that's your next challenge, eh?
Yeah, but there's, as I said, mate, like there's good players everywhere. Like Curdy's had an awesome year. So, so like it's got the young Sawani there too. So like two good players. So you're just gonna have to play well and just focus on what you can control. And hope for the best.
Yeah. How long are you with the Blues? Like, what are your plans? Have you looked much further ahead than a year?
Yeah, so sort of just got next year lined up at the moment, and sort of just talking to my agent a bit at the moment. So just sort of putting, just lining things up and seeing how they're going to work. So nothing really set in stone at the moment. Sort of just having a few ideas, thoughts on what I want to do with my footy, and it's still up in the air, but I'm probably going to be sticking around.
You got your Warriors hat on. I thought that might have been a wee planting a wee seed here. The announcement video.
Oh.
Would you go to the Warriors?
Oh, yeah, if I could play league, I would. But
have you ever played it? Nah.
Nah, I've never played league. Like,
but 15 carries and a half, mate. That's the sort of stats that the Warriors want from their front rowers.
Oh, mate. Nah, I'd love to try a league, but don't know if I'd be any good at it. But I'm just a big fan of rugby league.
Yeah.
Especially the Warriors.
Yeah. Up the Warriors. Mate, imagine you and Geordie going to the Warriors together. That would be something else.
Mate, who knows what Geordie's going to do in a sabbatical way. I reckon he's going to try and play golf for a living. He's already playing pro-ams.
Mate, he would go all right, eh?
Oh, mate. He's something else on the course at the moment.
He's a freak. And how do you go on the course? You're pretty good too, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm a hacker, mate. I'm a hacker. I'll go all right, to be fair. Like, just bat the biggest golf battle you can get, pretty much.
What do you play off?
Playing off a 8-8, I think, at the moment.
That is not a golf battler.
But it's, I had a long break. My handicap hasn't readjusted, but I'm putting in the hard yards at the moment. Got a bit of a break from footy, so try and bring that handicap down a little bit. So,
where are you going? Like, you've got a few trips lined up. You and the Barretts are always off some exotic country playing golf.
Yeah, we've got a wee golf trip lined up.
Where are you going?
I go to Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
Going to Sydney.
Sure.
Good, about 8 of us going. So,
that's it.
So, looking forward to it, just good excitement levels, just to get out, and just golf's a good game, bro, just to get away from, mentally switch off from, your trainings, and good time just to chew some fat with the lads.
Mate, how good. And life after footy, any plans? You sort of spoke about just travelling with the missus, and
mate.
But what
take that back. To be fair, like, I've been trying to do a bit of planning.
Yeah.
Like, I want to really finish my on the pipeline, just get my degree done.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take. I've only got a couple more papers, but they're going to be like longevity sort of field trip papers, and so it's like I'll try and tick those off to start off with, and then after that, I sort of not too sure whether I probably won't actually use that degree, but I sort of just want to have it there. I think it's something that's good to have, and then I'm going to start maybe like I want to own my own business and something. So
there he goes.
Not too sure, Jab. Not too sure yet, mate. Not too sure. Sort of looking into property a bit at the moment.
Yeah.
Just trying to do as much investing as I can at the moment, sort of thing. But sort of something along those lines, or something along helping out the community. Sort of just being able to share my knowledge or whatever I have to offer, which isn't much, but
so much.
So just something along those lines, mate. Trying to give back to some of the people that have been there from day dot and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, mate, you're going to kill it, whatever you choose, no doubt. But as always, we've gone to our Instagram for some questions, and Ricky Riccitelli has a lot of friends who follow What a Lad, that's for sure, because we've got plenty of questions come in. Might have been the photo. But first question. This one came in a few times from your Naki lads. Where's the red Yui boom?
Oh, well. Well, I don't know how much there is to the yarn, to be fair. But, it was last year, Naki Golden Run, mate. Were you dressing that season, or...
Yeah, let's address that season. Like, you guys went, undefeated, and...
I think it was just due, eh? Like, we were that due to go well.
Yeah.
Like, we had a few tough years, eh? Like, good players, and still couldn't get it done.
Yeah. Then you bring the comp all together in one, and then don't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, well, we'll not talk about that one. Nah, we just had a good run, Jab. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like we had made quite a few changes, and we introduced a game plan that like I've never really seen. To be fair, like we would run it from everywhere. Like we was, we're planning strikes off kickoffs, and we had some backs who were just like, our whole plan was to get the ball to the best players, which is like, your fastest players, and we got like your Pitagusses and your Stevies and Kinina and
Yourself.
yeah, bro. And then anyway, so like it just worked out, like we just got the momentum, the ball rolling, and sort of never looked back. Like just if in doubt, we just passed it to like Kenny that year.
Yeah. Do you think you would have won the comp if it was one comp that year?
I reckon we would have been very tough to beat.
Yeah.
I reckon we would have been very tough to beat. Man, like if you genuinely look at some of the tries that were scored against any team, they're pretty good. But
Did you play Waikato in the season or no?
yeah,
Oh, and you beat them?
yeah,
True.
yeah, beat them in pre-season too.
Oh, 2-0. Oh, wow.
Jokes, bro, pre-season mean. No, we did play them.
Yeah.
And, we did get the wood over them that game. So, who knows? Who knows what would happen? But I would have been pretty confident that the boys would have gone pretty well that year.
Nice. Anyway, where's the red Yui boom?
Well, it was sort of like a weird one because I had this red Yui boom that I sort of just like, for the lads, like a few tunes.
Music committee
a bit, and sort of like there isn't too much to the story to be fair, but like it was sort of like someone had stolen it the whole year, and I was like, hold on, like surely we don't have a thief in the team. Like we're going that well. Like surely our culture's that good at the moment. If it gets stolen this year, it's going to get. This is the year it's not going to get stolen. And then so I've had it, and like the bus driver obviously, and it sort of just like turned into like a bit of a cult hero of the team. So like boys just put Snapchat groups like they'd zoom in on the Mount Taranaki, and then they put like a little Yui boom emoji on the top of it, and like someone will be like drinking a unit or something, and they just have like put the Yui boom in the hand, or like it was just like sort of a bit of the laughing stock of the team.
So where was it?
So like the whole year thought it had gone, like thought someone had stolen it. Then I was just like, hold on, I might just try one more thing. Just rang the bus driver up. And this bus driver just had it the whole year, mate. Like, this bus driver's had it the whole time. I was like, did you think just tell hey mate, like your speakers here? So like, it was just like the laughing stock for the year, mate. And boys, took the gag out of it. So.
Oh, it's good stuff. Love stuff like that. Okay, next one. How do you have the biggest chest in the Naki?
I reckon I don't know what it is now because it's not the biggest chest, obviously. But,
It's right up there, though, eh? It's like a big chest.
Nah, I don't know. It's just from training hard when I was younger.
Did you have a big chest when you were young or no?
I don't know. To be fair, I lost a lot of weight in my last year at school. I was just too tired of getting called fat.
Oh, yeah. So were you quite fat going through the grades, were you?
Yeah, I was big boned.
Oh, yeah. Did you have big titties?
I can't remember, man. Like, I don't reckon I would have had like standard, like, standard tits for a lad. I said standard male tits, mate. I think they call like pics, eh? You can't, not pics when you're a boy, eh?
I don't think they're pecs if you're fat. The pecs, the muscle, they're definitely pecs now. Like, jeez.
Just from training, bro. Like
Yeah.
I said, I had a son with like Ruben O'Neill, and as well.
He had big pecs too, actually.
Yeah, and man, we trained hard.
Yeah.
Like we trained hard. Like this whole summer, we dedicated to like we were doing like gym in the morning, running, maybe a speed as well.
Yeah.
And then maybe like, and then at that time, I'd be like, I could go to the gym again.
Yeah.
Like we were just like, it was weird as like how it happened, And then sort of one of us had to go. Like we trained too much, and like Rubes ended up doing his Achilles and stuff the next year. It was just like, he's like, yeah, well, one of us was going to break down. Like, it just happened to be you, mate. Unluck. Like, no, but the poor man's had some tough times with injuries. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's just how it happened.
Just training. That's
Training
the
back
secret.
in the day, get the foundations, mate.
That's it. Okay. How did you come back from the news? Monkey Bar was closed in Dunedin. You were a menace in there.
Oh, that, mate, mate, the bars in Dunedin in my first year were special.
Were they?
Like, Monkey Bar was something else. It was like the weirdest setup, man. It was like it might have been an old church. Like,
Oh, yeah.
So, like, but it wasn't a church at the time, obviously, because I'm religious. So, like, and then anyway, so you go into this sort of setup, and you walk in, and there's like this big as like mosh pit area, like slimy, just sweaty setups.
Yeah.
And then there's like this stairwell. This thing is a stairwell, and then it's like a big like veranda at the top. So you're just looking down at all this mosh pit, but this mosh pit's like it's ground level, and then it takes like a few stairs down.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like sort of like undulated into the ground.
Oh, wow.
It's like a real weird setup, but like it was, it was some special times down there. There was that bar, and there was the starters bar that always went well.
Mate, you would have been right in the mix.
Oh, mate, it was just first year's things, eh? Like fresher years, mate. Like times of your life, eh? But no, I was just well away. I was obviously doing the right thing on the side, eh?
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, this one. How did he get the nickname Let's? It's been abbreviated.
Yeah, got the nickname Let's through. I remember at the Canes. Remember when Bodie was like sort of rocking like this little like cowlick? At the front?
Yeah,
like, he just had
yeah.
a little cowlick, and I was like, mate, your hair looks like lettuce. And then I was like, started calling him Lettuce,
Yeah.
and I was like, lettuce, and he just like, and then he started calling me Lettuce. I was like, hold on, I've just called you Lettuce, man.
The reversal.
Bro, and he was such golden balls, man. Like, and because he was like a big dog in the team and that, he started calling me Lettuce, and then everyone started calling me Lettuce. And I was like, you're fucking kidding, mate. It's bullshit. And then so it just stuck, Jab, eh? Like I was just being called Lettuce, and then Let's
Yeah.
short for lettuce. In the Naki they call me Salad because lettuce in a salad, bro. It's just absolutely diabolics, man. Like, it's just the shambles, bro.
That's one of the greatest reversals on a nickname ever.
Mate, like it's just it's like, of course it happens, eh? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's what Jared Eberhardt did for me. I mean, James Broadhurst did for me as well, actually, with Jabber. Like that was what I called him, and then he did the reversal to me.
How did that come up?
I just thought he looked like Jared Eberhardt, who was a Tasmaniaco legend, and he didn't like the nickname, so reversed it on me, and pretty much the same as that. Like, you guys still call me Jabber, so, mate, he got me as well. Okay, next one. This is a tough one. Who is the best Barrett? This is tough.
Oh,
You could go in categories or...
wow. What do you mean by categories?
lad, player, golfer. You could, or you could just go all round. Best Barrett is Ricky Riccitelli.
It's really tough because they're all good mates of mine, man.
Yeah.
Like even Blake Barrett at school. Like I spent a summer with him doing log work on Kane Barrett's farm. Like, we just he's an absolute character, eh? So. I'm not going to single one out.
Yeah.
But they're all just good lads, Jab. Like,
that's it.
All have their differences. Like Scott, I did a little bit of surfing with Scott at school, and obviously I spent a lot of my time with Geordie and Bodie. So yeah,
mate, you're like the other Barrett brother. You're literally.
Mate, they're just good, like grown up mates, bro. Like they're just the schoolmates, and yeah.
How good. Love that. Okay, next question. Most silly night on the Bears or best piss-up story? These are a few regular questions that come in.
There's been a few good do's, mate. No stranger to a good do. Like yourself back in your heyday. Anyway, so probably, I've had some genuinely good ones, eh? it all starts. We had a couple good bonfires at the Canes.
Yeah, I remember those.
I remember this one bonfire. Anyway, I don't know if we meant to have it in the end due to like council reasons and that. We still had this bonfire, and the CEO of the Canes at the time like comes up. He's like, oh, "What's going on here?"
Yeah.
So we're all just like on a very good level. And this bonfire, just in Wellington, and then like at this stage, bro, like I don't know how Finlay Christie's done this, but like he's climbed this tree that was like so high, it's this big pine, and he's at the peak of it. Like, this tree's like swinging, and he somehow took a couple units up with him, and he's just up there just sinking units, bro, like in this tree. And to this day, don't know how he's got up there.
He's an incredible tree climber. Right? It's his gymnast background, or he's got a gift. He's semi Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's freakish.
Okay, 2 more. Favourite golf course?
Oh, that's tough. Home golf course, Kaitucky, and just outside Okura.
Yeah, is the best.
That's the closest to me.
Oh yeah,
it's my. But the best golf course I've played. Oh, man, I can't go past Kinloch. I love that course. Played some real nice ones in South Africa.
Yeah.
A couple good ones in the peninsula in Melbourne, which is really nice. Sand based though, so that doesn't take the cake. I'm a big fan of Kinloch.
Kinloch.
It's a good course, but man, we've played some. Did you get on those? You're playing golf in those golf trips in Japan? In South Africa.
No, I often took the other option. Golf started to really wreck my hips. So.
Yeah. You always had those dodgy hips, haven't you?
It's been a long time, those hips.
Yeah, we played some like Perlers in South Africa too. Even like Royal Joburg and them are all really nice courses and stuff like that. So, but I would have to say Kinloch.
Lock it in. Nice. Okay, last question. Best piece of advice you have for a Waterlad listener? This will be good.
Hold on, Jeb. So, like, are we talking like just life advice or just
whatever?
Anything?
No rules.
Righto. Best bit of advice is just, I think whatever you do, just enjoy it. Like, enjoy what you do, because if you're doing that, you're going to be happy, and when you're happy, you can do it to the best of your ability. And if you're not enjoying it, find ways that you can, or find something that you're going to enjoy doing, because you only live once, mate. So it's a good opportunity for you to live your best life and enjoy everything you do, and like the world's your oyster.
Oh my gosh, that was so great! Yeah, absolutely cracked it, mate. Wasn't expecting I wasn't sure what sort of advice you were going to give, but mate, you nailed it. Just rolled off the tongue.
I was a bit rattled, to be fair. Sweaty palms and stuff.
You sort of zoned out for a minute, just went into full advice mode. Yeah. Mate, I love that from you. But what a way to finish. What is one of the great podcasts? I knew it was going to be good. Glad I could squeeze you in. The last ever episode in the Waterlad studio. So, mate, really appreciate you giving up your time here in the sunny Tasman to come in here and jump on and share your story, mate. You're an absolute lad.
Shot, bro. Pleasure to be on here. Cheers for having me, man.
Mate, you're a legend.